We were asked if I could give a virtual tour of my library, the office here, so that's what we're about to do. This is the outer room where I meet with people, do counseling, that sort of thing. This is the outer room, and this is where I write and try to figure out what to write. So that I've got two basic sections for my office here. And this probably has about 2/3 of my books. The other third, probably thereabouts, is all at home. So we'll just start here. What this is going to do is give a sensation, if you can't look at every book, that I'm far more organized, or that the books are far more organized than they actually are. There are sections that are not all that tidy. But here, Psalters and Hymnals, books on music, collection of Psalters and Hymnals. I've got my Recon collection. Rushdoony is here. Bonson, T.S. Eliot, Machen, F.F. Bruce is here. H.L. Mencken is here. Gary North, and more Gary North and related folks. And here's some random beer bottles. Calvinist beer and Black Douglas and things like that. So moving over one bay, here's a section on liturgics, a section on worship and worship music. This would be the section on scriptures and manuscripts, text criticism, that sort of thing. Hermeneutics and exegesis is next. And then I'm running out of room, so this section on preaching and preachers is here. And then the sacraments, baptism, the Lord's Supper issues, and church polity is here. The next bay, science and evolution, a couple of shelves. Science, evolution, generically, and also young Earth creationism, that sort of thing. Intelligent design. N.T. Wright and related folks. This shelf is kind of hodgepodgey, not some stuff on Islam, but not that well organized. And then here's some of my Spurgeon stuff, and then some Latin stuff, and some early Puritans, Bradford, Tyndale, there. Then early church fathers, and then Judaic stuff, church history, a couple of sections on Calvinism, actually 3 shelves on Calvinism, and then a fourth over in the other. I don't know why I've got another one over there, but Doctrines of Grace, Calvinism. This wall here is kind of a overflow hodgepodge. Not a lot of rhyme and reason at the top here, but down below I've got a collection of sermon collections and books on revival there. And then over here, organization creeps back in. The lower bays here are collected sets, mostly Puritans. So there's John Owen and Swinnock and Flavel, and I've got John Murray's over there too, John Owen, B.B. Warfield, John Knox, Breckle, Baxter, John Bunyan, and then Francis Schaeffer down in the corner. Then this section here is basically apologetics, other religions, other communions, denominations, philosophy, that sort of thing here. And then this section up here is more of an overflow again. Not a lot of rhyme and reason there. Someday it will be organized. And I'm glad I just saw a 1611 edition of the King James Bible that I was just looking for the other day. Couldn't find. So I'm glad I'm doing this tour because I found a book I was looking for. In this section, here's a rack of books that I've got a label here. Might finish someday. I was reading and got stuck or distracted or whatever. So I'd like to get back to them perhaps. Some of this other stuff here, overflow. Then here where I do my writing, this is sort of a random collection, but with a purpose, more of an immediate reference. I do a lot of typing and writing here, and these are books that I would want to pull down or consult or look at, and I have them ready to hand. Then in this section, the top two bays are books that I've edited or written or published or had something to do with. Next to them, marriage, family, sexuality, there. Then 3 bays of C.S. Lewis's stuff, close at hand. I consult him often. Then the next 2 are books on education. Actually, the 4 shelves, the 2 on the bottom, all the way across. So education books. Then right next to Lewis, I've got Chesterton, Tolkien, Charles Williams, folks like that. Then this section would be commentaries, my commentary sets and individual commentaries, and particular Bibles. So I've got Bible collections down there. Then in this bay here, this section, it's wordsmithing, basically. Etymological dictionaries, collections of words, odd words, that kind of thing. Here's my other Calvinism section, Reformational studies here, and more wordsmithing books. Then over on this wall is basically the middle section is history, American fiction there, American history, war between the states, here and here. And this would be Reformation history, European history, that sort of thing. And of course, while I'm explaining all this, people are going to say, but that's not American history. That's because I'm not as organized as it all looks. In this bay over here, some random PGO, so just authors I have, PGO O'Rourke, John Piper, Rene Girard, that sort of thing. Then over here is basically politics. Politics. And these are books we've published. And then this rack over here and this rack here are all cultural studies, pop culture, cultural analysis, cultural responses. And then I've got a library rack here. These are books recently purchased. Just about all these books are carded so that NSA students can check them out or parishioners can check them out. And I get new books and we card them and put them on the shelf, and I loan them out if someone comes in and asks for a book, and if I can find it, we loan them out. Then we got postmodernism, emerging church stuff is down there. And that is, in the main, what I have here. The rest is at home. Thank you for joining me.
So the $1 million question, how many have you read?
Oh, the $1 million question. When people say, how many of these, have you read all these, is the question. And my answer is, some of them twice. No, I've not read them all. I've read a bunch of them.